Hi, this is Nisa Meyer, and I'd like to talk to you about your most important ramp, or at least in my opinion, the most important ramp will be your team engagement. I'm going to share a little PowerPoint presentation that I put together to help me stay on task while we talk about this. Excellent. You should be able to see the presentation now. So let's talk about your team engagement ramp. Team engagement is the most important part of your entire project. No matter how important your plans are, you are not going to be able to accomplish them without your team. You should put considerable time, effort, and creativity into this ramp. So let me start off with a quick story. My very first QI project was focused on improving breastfeeding success rates. I had just been to a fantastic class where I learned a ton about breastfeeding and all the ways we were doing it wrong at my facility. I was brimming with ideas and had tons of evidence to support my plans. I spoke with the nurse managers who quickly agreed that we could make improvements in this area. So I took my new knowledge and rewrote the breastfeeding policy. I was super proud, confident that I was changing the world. I had been a nurse on the floor for a few years, so I didn't feel the need to consult with everyone else, all the other nurses, as I knew the unit procedures pretty well. So I wrote the policy exactly as I wanted it. Skin to skin care, maybe the breast crawl, delayed weights, measurements, medications, the whole 9 yards. In short, I changed everything about initial newborn care at birth and within the first hour. My policy quickly became approved and an email link was sent to all the staff. So can you guess what happened? Well, I'll tell you, nothing. No one used my new policy. Everyone kept doing their jobs just as they always had. I assumed this was a lack of education. Surely they had just not read the policy. Maybe they didn't click on the link in their email. So I went to the staff meeting, and I educated all the nurses until I was sure that everyone knew exactly what to do. And still nothing. So what had happened? Where had I gone wrong? I had educated, but I had not engaged. Let's figure out how you can do a better job. So who's on your team? The short answer is everyone. Anyone who, excuse me, anyone who will be affected by your plans. Anyone that you want to participate. Anyone whose help you will need should be part of the team. So all of your stakeholders, the providers, the nurses, front office, back office, and anyone else you can think of. Every project will be different and you'll need help from different people. So don't be afraid to add someone to the team that doesn't seem conventional or exclude a group from the team that you think wouldn't really be affected or wouldn't care. Your sponsor and mentor are definitely part of the team, as is your FNU faculty. So deep engagement leads to better results. When we talk about engaging your team, what does that mean? Does it mean educating? Well, yes, of course, but just like no one budged when I educated them about my new breastfeeding policy, you may not get great results from educating alone. Educating just means that you pass the knowledge on. That's basically remembering, maybe understanding. So if you look at this Bloom's taxonomy, can you do better than that? Of course you can. What would allow the staff members to be able to apply the knowledge or to analyze it or even evaluate the best course of action? So how might you engage your team? You could start with lecture or demonstration. What seems like the most engaging to you? Role play or games? And then how will you evaluate whether they've really been engaged or not? You could use testing, multiple choice, fill in the blank. Think about whether those things really test whether someone remembers or understands or can apply or can analyze or even evaluate. There's no easy answer here and there's no one right answer. So try to think through what will allow you to create the best engagement possible. So how to get started? You should start engaging your team right now, even before your actual implementation even starts. What do they think the problem is? Have they tried to solve it? What were their obstacles in trying to solve it? Once you've developed a plan, you'll need to tell everyone about it. Start with a team meeting, but try to avoid just telling them how it's going to be. It's not the best way to get people on board. So how can you get them on board? How can you get their attention? You're asking them to do more work for free, so you're going to need to make this good however you do it. So we could start off engaging them through a team meeting, maybe explaining what the problem is, what solution you've got, but you're going to need to do better than that. For a lot of students, this is where the thinking starts. They say the problem, they explain the solution, and we're done here. But you've really got to get their attention. And then once you get their attention, you need to keep it. So competition or prizes, food, special guests, maybe somebody who's been affected by this problem, a woman who's been through a postpartum hemorrhage, or a parent of a child with autism that received early diagnosis. What about engagement stations? Like if someone someone could set up stations that simulate blood loss and postpartum hemorrhage. You could do role play or even a movie night if there's a certain movie that would really get at your team problem. And then how will you know your engagement is working? Your evaluation will stay the same throughout all of the ramps. So things like surveys, role play, post-tests, but really be creative here. How can you determine whether your team is really being engaged? And then remember that you are the team leader. So start with a team meeting. How would you get people to attend? Make sure you schedule it in advance. Invite the team early and often. You can't invite too often. People will forget about this. It's not their top priority the way it is yours. You could offer food. Definitely you want to make personal connections. So texting your friends and saying, hey, don't forget to come to my meeting. Remind them the day before or even the morning of. You want to avoid making this about you personally, though. Really try to appeal to their better nature. Appeal to the part of them that really wants to do a great job at work. So instead of saying, come to my meeting, please, please, for me because you like me, instead, have them come because they think that postpartum hemorrhage or whatever your topic is a really important thing. Explain to them why you really think they should be here. Explain how you need their help in this. Ultimately, you are responsible for engaging the team. So I don't have much better advice than just to figure it out. Think about all the ways you might engage people, all the ways you can get them there, because ultimately you'll be graded on your ability to figure it out. And we know you can do this. So I know that can sound daunting. There's a lot going on with team engagement. You can do this. Take a look at online sources. Just Google it. Figure out what kinds of things other people have done to engage teams. You can look at the literature through an actual EBSCO search to try to find more information. Talk to other DNP students. Maybe even look at previous DNP projects and see what kinds of things people have done. And of course, talk to each other and talk to your faculty. We're always here to help. Good luck. Team engagement is fun. Enjoy it.